Yo, 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 another yo, and another yo, and a couple more yos. It's OTV Live, ladies and gentlemen, on The Verge Live. This is the show for the independent creative. My name is D.Wise. I'm your host. We got my man Standby Gypsy on the boards.
What's going on, D? How you doing, man?
Nothing, man. There's a lot to talk about this weekend, man. Grammy weekend.
A lot of entertainment happened here in New York.
Yeah, man. I actually picked up our guests down in the city, and they were breaking down the red carpet outside of.
So you saw it? Did you actually see the red carpet?
Yeah, it was still out.
I'm not gonna front. I might
Some asshole was still out there. He was just leave it overnight.
Yeah, I would have ran up and tried to I would have took a selfie next to it.
Nah, man, there's like scaffolding and stuff next to it. Like
I would have just it's the red carpet. I don't know. Nah. Anyway, did you make it to any bars? Because I'd hit you up. I was trying to see if you were.
Yeah,
trying to get
I got invited. I got invited to a couple of industry parties, and I was. Yo, I don't know what happened. I popped my knee out of socket about Saturday afternoon, and I was just like, nah, bro. By Sunday,
man Jones, come on, man.
Yo, dude, I had the author, the writers. I had the author. The author hit me.
Man, why'd you get that script, man? Get some touching on that bad boy. Yo, come on, we could have been at the red carpet, man.
Yo, dude, I had to take an Epsom salt bath. No.
You can't know when. Got you salt in your bath.
Yo, dude, somebody come and put some salt in my bath. Rub me down with some Vicks Vapor Rub. Make me feel good.
But you out in Brooklyn?
Nah, I was out in Brooklyn. Saturday.
Okay.
Me and my lady went out to Brooklyn, and I wanted to go see Guzzo, who was on the show.
Yeah. Shout out to Guzzo.
Yeah, man, he was out in Williamsburg bartending at this little speakeasy, but the front of it is a pizza shop, and you go through a door.
Okay.
And it's like a lounge in the back.
Oh, that's cool.
Soft music and drinking, and you know what I'm saying. And
Something out of life.
Yeah. I met his new lead singer. She's hot.
Really? Okay. Get her on the show.
Oh yeah, she definitely getting on. She definitely coming on the show. So is Guzzo. Shout out to Guzzo.
Shout out to Guzzo.
So we went and rented a hotel room. I didn't want to drive back home because I knew I was going to be drinking.
Of course.
So we was out in Brooklyn. We went, and then Sunday we came back. My son was over at my parents' house, and this dude was just like, "Yo, I'll sell you these tickets. It's a viewing party for the Grammys." It's like outside of the Grammys, but they had their own red carpet.
So it was a ticket to buy a big projector screen.
Yeah, but you had to get dressed up. It was like tuxedo only.
Man, I could put on my pajamas and watch it at home.
Right, that's what I said. So the dude was like, "Yo, do you want these tickets? I'll sell them to you for like $200."
No,
and I'm like, "Nah, bro, I'm good, man. I'm just gonna stay in. Like, I ain't
give you 2 cheeseburgers,
right?"
You know what I mean?
So then, after all was said and done, when he couldn't get rid of them, he was like, "Yo, I'll give them to you if you want to go." I was like, "Man,
wait, how much was he trying to sell them for?"
Like 2 cash, 3 cash. Like the tickets were like $160, $170. But it was like big. It was like artists. It was like not the people that's on stage. Like it was big name artists. It was like all the other people like that couldn't get in.
All the second hands, huh? Second and third.
Like you probably would have seen like Cassidy in there or something. You know what?
Oh man, see why you got to go there. I like Cassidy. I like Cassidy a lot.
You might have seen Cassie in there.
Cassie or Cassidy or both?
Cassie.
Okay.
No, he stopped. Yo, I don't know who was there. But it was like a VIP only thing.
All right.
And I was like, nah, bro. I was like, I'm good.
You good?
Yeah, I watched it at my mom's house.
Yeah.
You know, while my mom was going. She was like, why you got that TV so loud? I was like, yo, mom, come on, B.
She didn't have a house coat on, though, right?
No, she had no house coat on. She didn't give me her Medea vibes. Not yet. Not yet, anyway. But, yo, we're gonna get into a little bit of Grammy talk. Actually, we're going to introduce our guest a little bit early tonight. I had the chance to work with this brother at Times Square Art Center, previously known as the Laugh Factory in 42nd Street, Times Square, across the street from B.B. King's.
Wow.
Actually, so, you know, shout out to Eddie Moreno. I was recording at his studio, and he was like, "Yo, my guy at the club needs a host for musical shows. And I was like, come on, man, I do that in my sleep. Like, I do it all the time. So he introduced me to this gentleman, and then I started hosting Artist Magazine Showcase.
Very cool.
So,
very instrumental in your career.
Yeah, Black Butterfly, Fresher, who's on
Eminem's album.
Yeah, Eminem's album. He also did Wait a Minute. He got a song with Cardi B.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? All these artists that came through, there's a couple of other ones that are now, big. Like, I actually did shows with them like years back and stuff like that.
That's amazing. That's dope.
But this brother is a manager. He is a entrepreneur. He is the man I call. Silky is Gary. Silky Davis is in the building tonight, ladies and gentlemen. Let me see if I can get some. You gonna turn it on, man?
Oh wait, I thought it was on. Go ahead.
Is it on?
It's on.
You sure it's on?
I'm sure. Maybe it's not turned up on your computer, man.
Maybe
well, we want to thank your guests for coming in, man.
Yeah, man.
Really awesome.
So it's Silky, formerly of Silky Don Entertainment, now is First Spirit Media Group. That sounds a little bit more. Everybody used to make fun of me. He was like, "Who you work for?" I was like, "Silky, bro." He was like, "You call another grown man Silky?" They used to roast my ass. I was like, "Do you want to get on the show or not?"
Right.
Don't
tell me.
Yeah, brother. So, Mr. Davis, what's going on, man?
Hey, what's good? It's a yard man thing. Not everybody understand now.
There we go.
One love.
Where's your air horn?
Yeah, I shortened it up. It used to be Silky Don, so I kind of shortened it up a little bit.
Oh, man. So we're going to get into your whole career and everything, but we're going to talk the Grammys. Did you get a chance to see the Grammys, Silky?
Actually, I didn't. I didn't attend.
Dude, you're a busy brother, man.
Yeah, that's all right.
That's all
You're
right.
at a point in your career where you don't have to be on your couch watching the Grammys.
Come on, man.
Yeah.
The Grammys.
Working towards getting one.
Yeah, pretty much.
Do they have a manager? They don't have a manager.
Come on, bro. Come on, man.
I'm just saying. I'm on your side, man.
Yeah. I mean, that was just this year, but it was just so much going on for me and everything. And honestly, after having an event, a pre-Grammy event we did, and my company produced a couple of days prior, I was really done. I mean,
You was ready to go to sleep?
Yeah, I was
It was
out
a
of
wrap.
it. Any more push, I would have pushed myself over the edge. You know what I mean? So,
Got you. Say no
but
more.
much love to all my peoples and fam and everybody that was there, and all the award winners, for sure, definitely.
Okay. Yeah, man. So we're gonna get into who won and who didn't win, because there was a lot of talk on Twitter, Black Twitter.
Yeah,
in
a lot
between Twitter.
of.
Yeah, there's a lot of hate spewed. All right, so we're gonna start with Record of the Year. Record of the Year was 24 Karat
Yeah,
Magic. Bruno Mars. Redbone, Despacito, Story of OJ, and Humble were all nominated for Record of the Year, which is different than Song of the Year.
What is the
Okay,
the
so
difference?
record of the Year is given to the artists and the producers
Okay.
because it's the recording,
Okay. Got it.
and Song of the Year is given to the artists and the writers.
So it's a difference between production and
Right,
writing.
right.
I see.
So Album of the Year, again, Bruno Mars took home for 24 Karat Magic, which a lot of people had a problem with, saying that he shouldn't have. No, that's all right. He shouldn't have won over. Is that Back to the Future?
It is Back to the Future.
Wow.
Yeah.
So a lot of people were upset that that 24 Karat Magic won over, Jay-Z's 444 and Damn by Kendrick Lamar.
I don't think it should have won over Damn. I could see why it won over Jay-Z.
Well,
Personally, I think. I think
Jay-Z. I think 444 was a great album.
Yeah.
But it's not one of Jay-Z's best, in my personal opinion.
No.
Is it better than The Blueprint?
No, it's not. It's not better than The Blueprint.
Is it better than Volume 2? Like.
I think it just meant more.
You know what, Mike?
I think it meant more. I think the message of it. It was the most message-heavy album he's ever. I think it was just the most concise album he's ever put together.
I mean, but does that equal Grammys? Like, okay, it's an introspective album. He's talking about his life, which he doesn't normally do.
So shouldn't that be rewarded when an artist steps outside of themselves? and create such an dynamic album, taking that risk of
Maybe it was a couple of years too late. I mean, we've been listening to Jay.
But over 24 Karat. I mean, that's a dope album.
24 Karat Magic is
It's a dope album. It's a dope album. All right, I'm actually going to play 24 Karat Magic more. Because when you think about it, I listen. Yeah, all right. Yeah, all right.
I mean, from the standpoint of, re-listening,
Yeah.
I listened to Jay-Z's 444 maybe 2 or 3 times. Maybe.
Yeah.
And after that, I was just like, okay, it's a little heavy-handed for my taste. I mean, don't get me wrong. Lyrically, he's still strong.
No, but you have to be in that mood. When it first
Yeah.
came out, I was on it. I was listening to it every day.
Oh, yeah, of course.
But then it's just
Because
like
you get to hear the
nuances. But
yeah.
every day, I don't want to think about my financial freedom. Every day, I
Yeah,
mean, maybe I should
exactly.
be, but I'm not.
So let's go through more of these, man. Song of the year, once again.
Yeah.
Bruno Mars, That's What I Like. Over Despacito, 444 Issues, and 1-800-273-8255, which is the hotline.
So
Suicide hotline.
let me ask you this, because you would know this more. What are they really? What's some of the criteria to win a Grammy like that? Because to me, the 1-800 song, has a deeper impact, deeper meaning. Shouldn't that be rewarded for the Grammy, or is it?
I mean, you're going by what you personally feel.
Yeah,
I
that's
mean,
what that's. Yeah,
But if you're part of
this isn't a reality show, damn it.
but
I can't call into the Grammys.
But I'm saying you can be part of the Grammys if you be part of the songwriters.
Oh, what is it?
Yeah,
The
your
Guild?
art. No. It's the Academy of Jesus, man, Recording Academy Association of America. I mean, anybody can be a part of the Grammy. That artists vote on this. Like, people don't really understand artists, producers, writers. They're the ones that vote for this.
Yeah, there's a criteria. To,
Yeah.
how-
But they've snubbed a lot of people. And another thing about snubs, a snub is you didn't get nominated at all.
Good point.
People going around like, well, Jay-Z got snubbed.
Good point.
Nah, he didn't get snubbed. He was sitting in the front row.
Right.
He, just he didn't win anything.
Yeah.
He's got 21 Grammys already. You think he's worried about? He's got 21. He probably don't even have room for any more Grammys.
He has a room just for his Grammys.
Maybe. Yeah, man. Best New Artist went to Alessia Cara, which a lot of people were upset about. They said SZA should have got it.
Yes, could have. But going back to your point, she's gonna win a lot of Grammys going forward.
Oh, yeah. I think so.
know.
Alessia Cara, everybody's like, well, Alessia Cara is not a new artist. But the Grammys have a criteria. It's when you become prominent.
Yeah, timelines.
Right. Exactly. When you become a prominent artist, that's when you be considered a new artist.
Gotcha.
So when you break, okay, you released the album back in 2014 that went nowhere. You still get nominated. Like Nicki Minaj got nominated for Best New Artist back in 2012, and she had been out for 3 years already.
Right.
You know what I mean? That god awful first single she released. That's not even going. You know what? I mean, you know what? We're not going there tonight. All right. So I think Ed Sheeran only won 1 Grammy.
Okay. Wow.
And, yeah. I think he won for Best Pop Solo Performance.
Okay.
And I think he won for...
For an album? Pop
yeah,
album?
Best Pop Vocal Album.
Okay.
And Tony Bennett won Best Traditional Pop Vocal Album.
Oh.
Tony Bennett is 90 years old, and he's still out here winning Grammys.
Damn,
man.
I was about to say rest in peace. I thought he passed. No, I'm not even saying that as a joke. I'm saying that legitimately because
he went out on stage with John Legend last night.
Didn't they use a hologram for him? Oh no, it was Winehouse.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's
Yeah.
That's
Okay.
okay. All right.
Another thing that a lot of people noticed last night about the Grammys is that rock was not represented on the telecast last night, and it kind of shows you how the tide has changed from years ago.
Yeah.
From the first Grammy nomination first Grammy win was Fresh Prince, DJ Jeff and the Fresh Prince, and they did not go to the Grammys.
Wow, I didn't know that.
They boycotted the Grammys because they weren't televising the rap category.
That's right. I do remember that. Yep.
Now
Yep,
look how the tide has changed.
Interesting.
Now hip hop is dominated. They pretty much did best hip hop song performance last night. They did best hip hop album. They
didn't win. They were nominated.
No. I mean, they televised.
Their performances.
Damn near all the rap categories last night. They didn't put any of the rock. No rock was represented last night.
Damn.
Hip hop is the number one selling genre of music today.
Yeah, definitely.
Well, you only got enough time for
Man.
one category.
And on the reggae side, best reggae album went to
Marley.
Yeah, man.
But
Junior Gong.
But did you? All right, but I'm gonna play this out. So I forgot who it was, but it was at a big reggae award festival, and someone spoke up. One of the old heads was saying how, especially like the Grammys lines, they always give it to a Marley.
Freddie McGregor,
thank you. And well, of course,
Silky just like, right. I'm gonna say it and move away.
Right. Anyway, my point is he stood his ground and made a point that's saying that a lot of these award shows like the Grammys and stuff,
right,
just kind of stereotypically give it to the Marley, not giving opportunities to other artists that are pushing the musical envelope within that genre.
Okay.
And they're just kind of politically just giving it to Marley every year nonstop. So it's just interesting. When I saw that, I was like, damn. And we talked about that, like we talked about it on our podcast on Hangover Takeover like a few months ago. For it to kind of like come to fruition, just bam, right now. I'm just saying, I don't know. I mean, how do you feel about that, Silky?
I mean, okay.
Get comfortable, brother. Get comfortable.
Okay, even though we haven't gotten to me yet, but I used to produce what was called the Tamika Reggae Awards.
Okay.
That was the Grammys for reggae music.
Okay.
So, I've sat down with Freddie, Bujuban, I mean, pretty much, all of them. And when we were doing that award show, in conversations, everybody was excited about it because of the fact that what was going on with the Grammys and how it was a consistency, as just like I said, there was always a Marley, and in that case, a lot of time it was Ziggy. So yeah, that's a conversation that's been lurking for a very long time. Some people kept it in circle. Some people spoke up, and it got to a point because the Tamika Reggae Awards, we did it for 14 years. Is no longer, but we're in conversation and talks
about bringing it
back because of and this is one of the primary things. You know what I'm saying? And sometimes, and I hate to say it, is that when you have something, you don't respect it to the point until it's no longer there. So a lot of really good reggae artists have gotten shunned because for whatever reason they're never going to be on that Grammy ballot. You know what I'm saying? So I can see why a lot of them feel a certain way. And then when you do see a consistency and you try to figure out, okay, who actually, because I know myself, who I was one of the primary, and there's other people, in the reggae industry that was even trying to figure out where they were getting the nominations from.
Right. Where was it coming?
Where was it coming from? You know what I'm saying? So.
Well, wait a second. Last night, these are the nominees: Stony Hill, Damian Jr. Gong Marley, Chronology by Chronix, Lost in Paradise, Common Kings, Wash House Ting by J Boog, and Abracadabra by Morgan Heritage. Those were the reggae album
categories.
Categories. To be honest with you, of course I knew who Damian Jr., but Morgan Heritage, they like that's classic stuff. Like, I don't know.
No, and the thing is, Morgan Heritage has been doing amazing music for so long and touring,
and now he's just getting right. They just shining the light on him.
Just getting acknowledged.
Right.
Like Silky, let me ask you. Like, I'm not familiar outside of Damien. I'm not familiar with a lot of those artists. Like, do you think that some of those artists maybe more? I shouldn't say more deserving, but like
the problem is they just put best reggae album.
Yeah.
Reggae is not the dance hall is a subgenre of reggae.
Right.
Reggae is reggae. Yeah. Like when you go and listen to reggae, it's mood music. It's not you know, dance hall music. Dance hall music is dance hall music. You go to dance.
Right.
Reggae
That's why reggae needs its own award.
Right,
There's so many.
right. There's so
subdivisions
many-
of it, to give it its proper respect.
Right.
Right.
Yeah.
Because there are so many talented reggae artists. I mean, it's the same thing as hip hop. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
It's like you have. It would be a crime to just have one.
Well, that's why we have the
hip-hop
BET
album.
Awards.
which nobody shows up to.
And see, and
The
that,
Source Awards?
see,
No.
and that was the thing that happened. You know, in terms of when you have something that is your own, sometimes you have the tendency to not really fully respect it because
Right.
you're looking at
You're looking
the
for
Grammys and that. But then when you
you're
don't
looking
have
for recognition from
exactly,
from the
what I'm saying?
higher ups.
But your own people are the ones that are recognizing you, and it's not a group that's never been to a reggae concert or anything like that that's sitting in a room saying, okay, I like the color of this album, let's put it on the list type thing or whatever the case is. I mean, I'm saying that because it's like you have to understand there's definitely some extremely talented, and with reggae music now they're so broad. It's not just Jamaicans doing reggae music. You have reggae artists doing Jamaican artists doing reggae with Trinidadian artists or
Right.
Bayesian or it's like a real
Yeah.
culture, and hip hop.
It is a real culture. We got some people in the chat room. Shout out to Tyvee and Corey. Shout out to Shabaya. Dubes is in the building. He's about to drop a new project from Sporty Thieves. Dubes is in the building. Tina Joe, what's going on? Tina Joe. All right now. Amaretta. Is that Amaretta? I'm just going to butcher people's names. Almitra. Okay. Shout out to Almitra in the building. Yeah, man. But yeah, I feel that if you're going to expand the Grammys, well, first of all, not everybody's going to be on the telecast. That's one.
No.
But if you're going to put best reggae album and only have 5 nominees, that's
I mean, like you said, there's tons of categories that don't get televised. Give reggae,
Right.
give reggae its respect, and even within that, you don't have to televise each subdivision, but at least have an award for each one.
right.
Right.
Best traditional reggae album.
Right.
Best dancehall album. Like if you want to do that, then you're representing the culture a little bit
Absolutely.
better.
Right.
But that's what hip hop has done now. Now you have best alternative hip hop. I'm like,
Right.
what?
Urban contemporary.
Urban contemporary. I'm like, who? I'm sorry, baby. Al Mitra. I apologize, baby. Shout out to Danny Lugo in the building. Yo, you got a lot of people in here popping, man. Despacito should have run. Danny, get out of here, bro. Danny's.
I hate that song.
Yo, dude, that song is so played out, man.
Man.
They played that
It would
song
have been nice
out.
to see Foo Fighters play, though, live. They won, I think, Best Rock Album.
Actually, let's check and see.
They did win a
Well,
Grammy. I don't know if it's Best Rock Song or Best
Right.
Rock Album, something like that. But it would have been nice to see them perform. I don't know if they were in town or...
Yeah, probably
I
not.
don't know.
There's a lot of people.
Yeah.
But listen, let's talk about this show is sponsored by Koi Creative Space. I got to speak to my boy up in Koi Creative Space. I'll be up there in a couple of days talking some business. So if you need a space in order to work, it's a co-working space right in the heart of White Plains, New York. It is Koi Creative Space. Go to koicreativespace.com. Go check out the layout of the building. They have unlimited coffee. They have beer on tap
Amazing
now.
coffee. And beer now?
Yeah, they got beer on tap. That's
Damn.
crazy. So go check them out. Go to koicreativespace.com. Mention OTV Live, and you get 20% off of your membership.
Nice.
So co-working spaces, man. That's just it's the wave of the future. All right, y'all. So we're going to get into the top 10 independent albums in the country.
Let's do it.
And we are going to have Mr. Silky in the building. Maybe if you knew a couple of them, please ring in. Number 10 this week is Burner. And the album is called The Big Pescado. I don't even know what that means. The Big Pescado.
I thought he was like, with the album artwork, I thought he was trying to be Picasso or something.
Maybe. Okay.
I don't know.
But he's a rapper. He's
Okay.
he's from out of, let me see. He's out in the West Coast. Let me see. He is from. He's Mexican-American rapper from San Francisco.
Okay, dope.
Now, this dude has been out since 2007. I've never even heard of this guy. And he's got the number 10 independent album in the country.
He's been busy working.
He's been working. But you know what's crazy? Yo, he released an album with Styles P last year.
Really?
A duet album. And I didn't even...
Damn, slid underneath the radar.
Yo, dude. And I listened to a few of the joints.
Yeah.
He is definitely more late. He's like a Too Short kind of,
okay,
like Bay Area kind of rapper,
yeah,
but he can spit though.
Right.
But you know, he's always kind of laid back, like very
90s vibe.
More like a late 90s 2000 Too Short, maybe E40 type.
Oh yeah, that was right when I was in college. Yeah,
like that kind of flow.
Yeah.
And and to hear Styles P rap with him,
right,
was just like, huh. New York style with a San Francisco,
And who's on the production? Like what kind of production?
Oh man, he had mad people on it. I was just like, what? He got a song.
Do you remember the name of the album? I gotta check that out.
Let's see.
I'll look it up.
Collaborative albums. He's got a bunch. Damn. It's called Vibes.
Vibes. Okay.
Yeah, it's called Vibes with Styles P. He's got a record with Scott Storch. I guess Scott Storch is trying to do his thing once again.
Come back.
He put the coke down. Man.
No,
yo,
they working over there. Scott,
he's working.
Yeah,
he's working, man.
He's a worker. I mean, no, listen. As long as you put a piano in front of that man, he's working.
Yo, a lot of people don't know he was a part of the Roots. Scott Storch was the piano player for the Roots.
Damn, what years?
Things Fall Apart. The album after that, Phrenology.
He's extremely talented.
He was on all those albums. He was on like 3 or 4 albums.
Yeah,
the kid is.
He's a genius.
He's talented.
I just hate to see people. I want to say my people because they are my people. We're all in entertainment, but I hate to see people fall from grace. You know what I mean?
It's tough.
Yeah, man. It's tough to see somebody that talented. You know what I'm saying? Go through the bankruptcy. You know what I'm saying? Having a drug problem. Like he was going through a lot of shit. But shout out to you, Scott Storch, man. You still making bangings. I'll tell you that. He do.
That's all he knows how to do.
Yeah, once you get into that, it's just crazy. Number 9 this week is Ty Tabor with Alien Beans.
Please tell me about this album.
Okay, so Ty Tabor is he is a guitarist. He's 56 years old.
All right.
He's in a band called King's X.
Okay.
And he played for Alice Cooper. He played for a lot of people. But
heavy hitters.
Yeah. But he plays his own and sings his own. I listened to a few of the joints. He's an amazing guitar player. I just didn't like his singing voice. But that's just my opinion.
What is he like? I don't know.
It was like kind of like a hard rock, like a heavy metal Tom Petty, and I was just like, I can't.
Oh no, hell no!
Like
hell
his
no.
tone was kind of. Hey,
Tom Petty. Respect to Tom Petty, but
rest in peace, Tom Petty.
Yeah, but he doesn't got the strongest rock voice.
Well, I mean, you don't have to have a strong voice, and I mean, look at a couple of them other old dudes that's still out there.
Yeah. Silky, do you listen to much rock? I take it you probably listen to everything, but are you into rock much?
Not too heavy, but I mean, it's one of those things I'm not gonna, if something's on the radio or it's come across, well, I can't even say I listen to radio like that so much.
Yeah.
But if I come across some, music that, I gravitate to, or sometimes I just want to change up, the sounds, I'll take a listen, listen to it and vibe out with it.
Yeah.
Yeah, for sure.
Okay. No problem. Number 8 this week is the Cranberries, and their album is called Something Else. This is actually released before the lead singer passed away.
Yeah, wow.
Right.
Okay.
So this album is actually re-recorded songs, but they did it acoustically.
Oh wow. Okay.
Yeah,
so it's an acoustic album. Okay.
It's an acoustic album of earlier works that they had from the first few albums that they did. Number 7 this week is Humphreys McGee, and the album is called It's Not Us.
I want to listen to it just because they're called Humphreys McGee.
Yo, dude, to be perfectly honest with you, I really like their music.
All right, I'm
They're like a
looking it up
jam
on the
band.
title
It's
right
like
now.
they're kind of like Fish and the Grateful Dead. They just go out there and like jam.
Right. They're having a good time.
Yeah, they dope.
They're having a good
but they was dope, man. They're from Notre Dame, Indiana, and Chicago, Illinois. So a few people from Chicago and Indiana. So check them out. Number 6 this week is Black Rebel Motorcycle Club.
Oh, I know this album.
Yo, dude.
I like this album.
Wrong Creatures. Yo, dude.
I like this album.
Right?
Yeah, it's good.
Yeah, it's dope. It's dope. So definitely check them out.
It's good driving music. Like I wish I was on. You wish you were like driving up the coast on the West Coast or something.
Yeah,
like that. Or
man,
like,
yeah.
You know, not that I would ever want to be a trucker, but I'm just saying like, just those kind of runs. Like it's just one of those like driving across America. You just want to listen to this,
Right.
You know. So,
Number 5 this week is Tonight Alive.
okay.
And they're an Australian rock band from Sydney, Australia. Now, they were signed to Sony for a minute, and I heard a couple of their records. Actually, one of their songs was featured on the Amazing Spider-Man soundtrack 2,
Okay.
which was a terrible film,
Right.
but the soundtrack was
Great
dope.
soundtrack. Amazing soundtrack. Not so amazing
Yo,
Spider-Man.
I'm still trying to figure out why Jamie Foxx had a gap in his teeth when it started, and by the end, he had no gap.
Oh wow! Now I gotta go back. I didn't notice that.
Yo, I don't understand why Sony. Please tell me, why do you want to put multiple villains in a film? Like, it don't work. One villain is good enough.
Right.
Maybe 2. But y'all putting in like 8 different villains. Yo, I don't want to see Spider-Man fight Sandman, the Doc Ock, the Shocker, this guy, that guy. Like, yo, dude, just...
Yeah, it's too much to process at once. You can't,
Yeah,
you can't
man,
have
it's
that
too
many
much,
type
man.
of fights. You know,
It was just too
fights.
much. But anyway, they're number 5 this week. Number 4, Five Finger Death Punch, and it's a decade of destruction. This is the greatest hits album from
The greatest hits. Are we at that point? Greatest hits,
Well, you know what?
and it's also a pun on their name too, right?
Five Finger Death Punch. It's a decade of destruction, and let's call it an introspective album.
But they're gonna look inside now.
Yo, Five Finger Death Punch may not be mainstream, but those dudes have a following.
Absolutely.
I was gonna say that you have some artists that is gonna always stay under the radar,
Right.
But I mean, it's like having this a cult following. No matter where you go,
Right.
they sell out. They sell
They
out.
sell out
places,
everywhere.
You know.
It reminds me of who's the rapper? Tech Nine.
Oh,
I mean, he's
Tech Nine
massive.
is a monster.
But when I
Did you hear the difference? When the last time you went out to the West Coast?
It's been a few years.
Yeah, but when you go out there, they don't play any of the shit they play in New York.
Oh no, because there's enough music out there. They don't have to play anything in New York. Like it was.
You
I
can
remember
go
listening to the
platinum
radio out
in
there.
California.
I remember listening to the radio out there and just remembering just how rare it was to even just hear a Biggie track or something like
Right.
that. Like you felt like you were on the West Coast because it was
Oh,
like
definitely,
they play all that stuff,
definitely.
and then
Yeah,
there was a
there was
Biggie.
that
I was like, oh shit, I'm in a different state.
Yeah,
you know?
man. Yeah.
Yeah.
I remember when I went out, the last time I was out on the West Coast, I went to Arizona.
Okay.
And I was just like, I'm listening, and I'm Shazamming everything from the radio. I'm like, yo,
Right.
who's this? This is dope. Who is this? And it just opened me up to a whole, like, they don't, like, radio is so territorial.
Extremely.
Like, when you go down south, you hear a bunch of artists that you'll never hear before, and they've gone platinum, or they've gone gold. And I don't even know who
Or
the
they're
hell they
doing
are.
shows. and,
Right.
You know.
They're
Yeah.
selling out arenas. Anyway, number 3 this week is Typhoon, and the album is called Offerings. And they are a band out of Salem, Oregon, actually. They're an indie rock band. I like
Okay.
them. It's pretty dope. They made their television debut, and I don't think they've been on television, with Late Show with David Letterman back in 2011.
So they've been around for a
They've been
little bit.
around for a minute.
Okay.
Yeah. So number 2 this week is Avatar, and the album is called I think the band is called Avatar Country, and
Okay.
the album is called Avatar.
Okay.
Now these guys are real heavy metal, like they're a show band. Like the lead singer is all in makeup, he wears a top hat and tails and all that, but it's really
Theatrical.
hardcore.
Yeah.
But the thing is, dude, they were signed. Their last album was their biggest album,
Okay.
and it was produced by, and I just
Rick
wanna-
Rubin.
No. Sylvia Massey. Now hold on.
Okay, because I'm got question marks over my head. I don't know who that is.
Sylvia Massey has been working in the industry since 1991.
30 years.
She produced Tool, System of a Down, Johnny Cash, Red Hot Chili Peppers. Dude, she's done work on Prince's albums. She's a producer. Hold on, I'm gonna tell you, she's a producer, engineer, and a mixer.
Whoa.
Yeah, she
Her-
got it covered.
Just she did Lustra, Luscious Jackson, Oingo Boingo, Red Hot Chili Peppers, REM. She did. I'm looking at her accolades alone. Prince, Sublime, System of a Down, The Time, Tool.
Yeah, this is another one of those
she's
people
great.
that
You
know.
remember Green Jelly
Cover.
with Three Little Pigs? Little pig, little pig.
Oh yeah, and that crazy
She
music video.
produced that fucking song.
Holy! I remember that. It was on MTV all the time. Yeah, this is like one of those rare.
Yo, I never knew
People
who.
in-
I didn't know who the hell she was. Then I Googled her, and I'm looking at her. Yo, she started in
discography is
'91.
That's like the writer chick. Who's the writer?
Oh man.
Who's the writer?
Oh jeez. See, now you got me. Now you got me. What? The one that she wrote. How
All
Do
the
I-
hits.
Yeah. How Do I Live? She wrote Brandy. Have You Ever? Diane Warren.
Diane Warren.
Oh yeah, man.
Yo, and she can sing. And she said, "That's not my bag. I'm a writer. That's what I do.
You know,
I write ballads."
And I'm gonna say this: she's an amazing person as well. I had the opportunity to
Really?
meet her and sit down and talk to her. Yeah, this is a couple of years back, but I mean, great personality and everything. It's been a minute, but she was definitely. I mean, it was like pretty much everything at that time. It's like she pretty much was writing all the major records.
Celine Dion.
Yeah,
Brandy.
exactly.
Right.
Aerosmith.
Right.
Don't want to
Whitney
miss a
Houston.
thing.
Whitney Houston.
Whitney Houston. Like
Yeah.
you can't.
She write anything with
Mariah-
Janet? Janet? Or,
Mariah, Janet.
yeah.
She wrote.
Bieber?
No, I don't think so. She wrote that Miley Cyrus record. She wrote a Miley Cyrus record. She wrote the Leanne Rhymes. How do I get through my life without you? She wrote that record.
Yeah, she's definitely
She's in there. That's
no
crazy.
question.
All right, so we got to talk to our guest tonight, ladies and gentlemen. This is Gary Silky Davis is in the building tonight. He's been with us for a while, but we're going to get into the thick of it tonight. First Spear Media Group. So, first off, Silky, tell me about. So you were born here or no? You were born in Jamaica.
I was born in Jamaica, Kingston, Jamaica, a place called Franklin Town. You know, music as you know, just in general, not saying just because from the island, but music has always been our piece, our our vibe. Just always been that's been our thing to get us through. Everything. So it's always was there with me. And I started it as a DJ. Well, at that time we would call it a selector, because in Jamaica we call them selectors, and DJs are MCs.
Right.
So I was doing that, and then I started a sound. I had a sound system, Melotex. And they would go
You
around
going
and
back,
play.
right? Yeah, Ben. That's what's up.
Yeah, they would, was going around, and playing at, different events, locations, parties, how you go out on, it's just rope up your sound outside and everything and playing music. I used to have, like in Queens, I used to have, I was one of the first to illegally set up
Talk about
a
it.
sound system.
Talk about it.
And have the cops come and don't do nothing. You know what I'm saying? Because everybody, it was just so peaceful and everything like that. Then I find out later, like, yo, dude, you got to have a permit to do this. You know
Right.
what I'm saying?
Oh, you was doing the big sound.
Yeah, exactly. So I was doing that for some time. I had started a radio show, a reggae radio show as well.
Okay.
In New York. It was on WNWK. It was a primary owned station that everybody and if those reggae fans remember the Gil Baileys, of the
Wow.
the reggae world, they were on that station and everything like that. So, did that for a little while, and also then was doing a lot of the concerts, in Brooklyn and everything, Steeplechase Park, myself and a couple other partners of mine, we did concerts with Bourgeois, Beanie. Wow, I mean
The talent was
a lot of the heavyweights.
a
and
lot of
stuff.
people don't, a lot of Americans don't know, the history of dancehall and reggae when it came. Like, it was like when I first heard about dub plates. Like I was like, what? I was like, yo, there's like 47 different kinds. I was like, yo, it's like,
what is that? I'm not.
all right. So,
I'm gonna let you say your version of it.
okay,
what you
all right.
feel, and then-
What I knew of a dub plate
Okay.
was that when there was a producer that produced a record or a rhythm,
right.
then you would have different people that have a different interpretation of what they wanted to do. So Beanie could do one record, Buju Banton would do another record. You know what I'm saying? Bounty Killer would do another one. And it'd be like 48, 50 different records, and they all sounded different. And I ate it up, man.
But it's the same lyrics of the same song.
No, it's the same music, but different lyrics, different hooks.
Oh, I see what
different.
you're saying.
Yo, dude,
Yeah.
I used to get 45 records of nothing, but I'll be like, oh, I wonder who's doing this one.
Well, it's the same.
Yo, dude, that's how I learned how to like blend records. Reggae records were the first records I learned how to blend because everybody had the same beat.
Let me
No, go ahead,
Let
go
me add to it. Okay, so basically, what we used to do, it came from, you would have a dub plate, you would have an artist literally make a record based on the sound system,
Okay.
So they would say, big up the selector of it, just for example, one of the, Stone Love, Rory and them guys, Weepo and all of those guys, that was the foundation of, Stone Love. You would have a bounty killer come on and say, we come to kill you, Stone Love, whatever the case is, but it was always representing the sound. Now, what people didn't know is that each selector or each sound system, each artist would charge a different, amount of money to do a dub plate. So you would find yourself, because I know I was in that position, you would find yourself spending a lot of money on these dub plates with these artists. But the thing is, what they would do is, like, a lot of their original songs, they would re-record it, but add the selector into it. So there's probably, with no exaggeration, there's probably about 100+ dub plates with my name in it because of the sound system. You know what I'm saying? And I was the one behind the sound system, at that time managing the sound system and everything like that. So that's where you go and you gotta make sure your sound has, when they go into battle mode, where you go and you're clashing with another sound, you gotta have those records. So when you hear some classic dub plates for some artists who people would say like, yo, wait a minute, where'd you get that from? You know what I'm saying? But it's a love and respecting. But that's how the whole sound system, game and everything used to go. And then it got switched up when you would have hip hop artists on a dub plate with a reggae artist.
Dude.
That's,
them early records, like a lot of people know now that Biggie was Jamaican, right? Well, but he did a lot of records with reggae artists, Supercat,
Big up Super Cat, man.
Yo, my man.
That's right.
Yo,
I remember that
and when hip hop started merging, and then R&B started doing it. Yo, I remember there was this little store down the street in Yonkers, and there was a reggae. It was owned by this dude, and he was straight from Jamaica, and he used to play all the new songs, and I'm like, yo, what is? And yo, every record from Tony Braxton's first album, I remember them doing it in dance hall. Every single.
Yeah.
Breathe Again, Another Sad Love Song, Anita Baker records, like, yo, dude.
So I remember going back to the 90s. So like when dancehall hit, I felt New York was like early 90s.
Hell yeah, 92,
I mean?
93.
And I was listening to Super Cat and all those guys back then.
Yo,
But
if Buju never got locked up, like if he never, yo, dude, I think he would be bigger than the Sean Paul. He'd be bigger than, like if he didn't get into trouble and couldn't come to the U.S., like there's a lot of dudes out there that's, ooh.
Yeah, he was definitely on his way. And the thing is, and it's a touchy thing for me because he's a man I got an opportunity to sit down with and and talk and vibe out with, and when you hear certain things about certain people, you know when it's like, okay, they're not that individual. That situation might seem like, oh, that's been them from day one or whatever, but it was never that type of situation. And he was a talent that definitely was, he was on his way to superstardom. You know what I'm saying? And because he was also humble.
You kidding me?
Yeah. My dude. And the food, yo. You know what? I'm not even gonna get into it.
So wait. So my connection with reggae was my parents, right? So in the early '80s, my parents had the opportunity. They produced Reggae Sunspot. I'm sure you're familiar with the
definitely.
Yeah.
You kidding me?
Yeah,
Okay.
I swear. Yeah. So 1982, they produced it. My parents' name on it and everything. So I grew
Really?
I grew up listening to Chalice, Muta Baruka.
Wow. Okay.
Sister Nancy?
Cincinnati. Yeah, Sister Nancy. Of course, Sister Nancy. Yellow Man. Michigan and Smiley, like,
Yo,
like
you
the
bringing up
gamut.
some names I haven't heard.
Like
them
there's some pictures of me with an army helmet on, like dancing to Chalice, doing 3 o'clock roadblock. Like, it's
Wow.
crazy. It's crazy. So
Look at this dude over
I'm
here.
serious.
I never even knew that, bro.
yeah. So when dancehall first hit in the 90s, I wasn't feeling it. You know what I mean? Because it wasn't reggae.
Right,
you know,
right,
it wasn't roots. It wasn't rock.
It was
wasn't
changing. The transition was changing, yeah.
And I was like stubborn. Even as a kid, I was like 11, 12 years old. But I'm stubborn about it. Nah, this ain't,
this ain't what I was listening to. Yeah.
You know what I mean? But then I started getting into girls because I was right at that age.
Oh,
and I was like,
oh
yeah. I was like, ting-a-ling-a-ling. All right, let's go.
Right.
And I started getting into it.
Yo, first time I heard that record, I was in like junior, like before. No, it was before junior high. I was like 6th grade.
Yeah.
When that song came on, when Shaka Demus and Plies came, woo! The girls was like whining. I was like, okay, I can get with this.
That's what it was, yo.
I was like, ooh.
Yo, because honestly, the R&B, the R&B set was too adult, like for that age.
Yeah.
Like reggae dancehall was fun where the kids could get into it.
I wasn't trying to roll up to no girl when they playing R. Kelly.
I mean, what's up with that? What's homeboy's name? The kid, Little Vicious. Was that what you were talking about before? Little Vicious.
Man, Vicious. What happened to him? I don't know. Damn. Anyway, yo, so Silky, how did you transition from, being a selector and then moving into?
Yeah, I with the opportunity playing music, I end up at actually a place called Lucy's. Lucy's was around the corner from the Apollo. At that time the Apollo was the place.
The place.
Lucy's was the after place. So I through my one of my peoples, Eazy-E from New York, Yonkers, New York, DJ Eazy-E.
Really?
Yeah, he was he was like a mentor for me, and through him I met Bob Fredericks from at that time WLIB, and then also my boy till now.
Yo, he dropped some names I ain't heard in a minute, bro.
Yeah, then DJ Red Alert came into the picture, and Cool Herc and these guys, it was like they had words for me. You know what I'm saying? Especially, Red Alert. He one of the most humblest people I've ever met.
Yeah, I got to meet,
still on the radar. Like,
I got to meet Red Alert. Like, I met Red Alert through Cool Herc.
Okay.
Because Herc used to come through to karaoke Wednesday nights at the Bungalow in Mount Vernon.
Wow.
And he, he was like, yo, you gonna put out that record? Like, every time I see that man, he always wants to push me up. Yeah. Never push me away, never put me down. He's like, yo, when that record coming out?
That's it.
When you putting that record out? And I'm like, damn. So I was just like, damn, I really need to get in the studio.
Right. Fire on the
That's it.
Yo, my dude, he's always been positive. And then Red Alert, I got to meet Red Alert and DJ Premier at the same time.
Oh, Premier.
Like, yo, dude, I was geeking out, bro.
Yeah.
Like, I went and shook Premier's hand, and I was shaking. I was like, hey, how you doing? Like, all I kept on playing is, like, all his hits in my head, like Dwick and you know what I'm saying? Mass Appeal and everything from, I was like, oh.
And he's another one, always maintain that chill vibe.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Approachable and everything. That was another thing. So from that, Lucy's where everybody was, coming through. I even actually in his early part of his career, from there, befriended, Mike Tyson. We became cool and everything, like that in his early part of his career. Being at Lucy's, everybody would come through, So from that point,
there was a documentary about. There's like film footage from Lucy's, man.
Oh my gosh, man!
Dude, everybody used to I was too young for me.
Yeah.
But then when when I was like 15, 16, I used to hear these stories. Like, you be in the studio with somebody and be like, yeah, I was at Lucy's and I was hanging out with Mike Tyson and what's his name, Spike Lee. And
the odd combinations of celebrities.
Just mad people.
Yeah.
It was just crazy.
Yeah, because the thing is again, like I said, everyone that was over at the Apollo, came through. So it was always filled with different celebrities and everything like that. But everybody was in that chill mode and so forth. So I used to play the reggae set, and then even Kid Capri. Oh my God, this guy.
Oh
man.
boy,
just to stand
I can
there
only
and watch
imagine.
this guy. It's just when I say to you, I've never seen
the pillars.
anything like. So I got an opportunity to be amongst these individuals, and everything was always positive. But my thing was always just in life, it's like you always want to challenge yourself, and I've always been that individual to challenge myself. Then I was introduced to a group of folks out of Brooklyn. It was like a crew, and then we used to go to a spot, Lyricist Lounge, so where that's when folks get together and battle and everything like that and so forth and so on. And I bucked up on some young kids, man. They were called the Bush Babies. You know what I'm saying? And then I started working with them. And along that clique, I inherited, you had Mos Def and UTD. You know what I mean? Everybody was doing their own thing, but they was like all in a clique.
Right.
So I kind of, was kind of working, with all of them. But my main focus was, the Bush Babies. So from that point is where I really got the hip hop bug and everything like that. But then at the same time too, in Queens, I had connected with Cool G Rap because we were just cool. And this is like before anything. He used to come to the house.
It's cool with Cool G Rap.
Wow.
I mean, of course,
before we was chill. We used to be on the front, in front of my house and everything like that. Yeah. And he'll just be, kicking it. I'm like, yo, I says, G, you're crazy with it, man. He's like, nah, you're. I said, you gotta do something. So then he got with DJ Polo and everything like that, and the rest was Road to the Riches. You know what I'm saying? I remember when me and him was talking. I said, yo, this record is gonna be crazy. He's like, you think so? I said, I'm telling you, this record is gonna be crazy. And then it ended up that record ended up doing mad well for him and everything like that. So
get me up to speed with the management that you're doing now, like First Spear Media Group. How does that?
Yeah, well, fast forward, with everything, you transition and stuff like that. And Silky Don Entertainment was the company that I started with. That was always my baby. Did a lot of things with it that I formulated. As you move forward, you kind of have to establish yourself, and everything, because a lot of people associated Silky Don with what I was out in the street and how I was doing,
They
making
automatically,
moves.
yeah.
So I didn't want to, blackball myself or, stop myself from, growing. So I formulated a First Spear Media Group, and I represent and work with some very talented producers. Jorge Quintero is one of my producers. Now, people will hear that name like, oh, I don't really know who that is.
Right.
But he has almost 1 billion impressions online for one of the biggest tracks he produced, 300 Violin Orchestra. And we've done actually Super Bowl commercials. He
did a Toyota motor sales.
Exactly.
Oh, wow. It's all right.
And and he's been doing well. And then I also represent Femi, Fem Double. Femi, is his foundation, I would say, because he had the privilege to work with Pac. When he was still alive and everything. E40 and a bunch of great, talented artists and everything like that. And then I also have the Track Formers. They're in Brooklyn. And the funny thing about it is that the Track Formers was, when I was dealing with the Bush Babies, they were, because their father is the one who introduced me to them. You know what I'm saying?
It's all connected.
When I knew them when they were younger, so they have that bug. There's other members. Shout out to Ferris Wheeler J, Burn 'Em Up, Kev Keys. So they've been doing some great things. They did a French Montana record. We've done a couple of commercials.
They on it, man. They on it.
We did Boxing commercial. We did Frederick's, commercial. So and I have Archive. He's out in L.A. Worked on did some stuff with Faith Evans and everything like that. Still, pushing some stuff. And I got Stick Bones in Brooklyn. He's another foundation. He's
Come on,
a drummer
man.
as well.
I don't know. Yeah, I work with Stick.
Okay, so
yeah, man.
I got a nice collective team there, and and just moving forward. And I want to say this too, man. I mean, one of my new partners as of last year came aboard with me. Someone that I respected and been in the business for a very long time, and he actually was a former senior vice president over at CSAC, Trevor Gale. So, we're working together now and everything like that, and just trying to expand on things, music and scoring, for, film. Femi's actually have a song and scoring for a project. I can't mention it right now. But
you don't have to mention it, brother. Yeah, it's all right.
But I will say this. She was in a movie. She's a comic that had a great year last year. A movie that she was in the year before won a big award.
Okay.
There's a bunch of other women that was major in that movie as well. So working on that and just still keeping it moving forward. You know what I'm saying? You gotta move along with everything. Find your lane, because this is not not everybody's gonna give you that handout. There's a lot of people that I gave a hand to that's in certain places and positions, and I can't even get them on the phone again.
Right. Of course, man.
But
that's the nature of the business.
Exactly. Though. But you find your space, you find your lane, and you just kind of cruise in that, and that's really what I've been doing and cruising. And then I just became co-chairman of RAD, which is a charity recording artists, athletes, and actors against drunk driving. We just did our pre-Grammy fundraising charity event in New York City. I got to give props out to Cole Beasley of the Dallas Cowboys for doing the PSA, for me, and my fam over there in Dallas, who's actually working on his album and stuff as well. You guys are going to be surprised when you hear Cole Beasley.
Really?
Oh my God! It's
Okay.
something. Yeah, you know. So Bennett Jackson, also who came through, the Baltimore Ravens and everything like that.
That's
And,
what's up.
The family from the Love and Hip Hop. A lot of folks. I can't remember everybody, but a lot of great people came out and supported. So,
So where
that's
can
the thing.
everybody find you, Silky?
Oh, Silky Don, all social media, Silky Don, simple. That's it. It'll bring up everything. And I hate to say this, but if you Google that,
Yo, there's nothing wrong. Silky, there's nothing wrong with Google me. All right, there's nothing wrong with saying that, man.
It's just not my style. You know what I'm saying? I just,
This man's from Jamaica.
but,
You don't play that shit.
You
He ain't Googling no man.
Yo, so crazy. So, make sure you follow my man Silky Don. It's a
Search for him.
search for him.
Google it.
Don't Google him. You know what? Bing him. How about you Bing him? Bing the man. Bing him. Don't Google him. Bing him. Go to Bing.
But I want to say one thing. I know we're wrapping up, man. I got. First of all, I appreciate you guys having me, man.
Absolutely.
And D, listen, man. This guy saved me. When I said he saved me.
Oh, I remember that day, man.
When I was doing at the Art Center, I was consulting there and everything, and we changed up from the last factory, made it an entertainment company, and we're starting the showcase, there, and it's a big spot, compared to a lot of other places and stuff like that when you're doing showcases and everything. And I was working with some different hosts and everything like that, but I was getting a lot of complaints and it wasn't fitting,
gelling.
it wasn't working.
Right.
So that's just like you said earlier. Eddie said, to me, like, Silk, I might have someone, that might work. And I'm saying to myself, okay. I said, because I don't want
Had
to
you already
keep
gone
doing
through a
all
bunch of
this.
people before?
Yeah,
exactly. So you're at that point,
Yo, when I say D came in cool, humble, chill, he's like, listen, what are you working with? I said, listen, I'm building this, and okay, I'm gonna work with you. Let's start with this. I mean, business, everything.
Professional from day one.
But he was like, listen,
Sounds
I
about right.
get what you're doing and how you're doing it.
The vision of it.
Never, but this is the crazy thing. Never knew he sang.
Oh, by the way, I'm a super talented vocalist.
Yo,
Never knew.
Yo,
it
my
was,
dude.
It was what I remember that time. It was like there was an artist that they were behind.
Yeah.
And it was like everything was on a time. He knows how we run it.
Oh
Everything
yeah,
was
I
on a
used
time
to have
schedule.
come with cards. I'm like, yo, we gotta start.
Everything was on a time-based schedule.
If it comes to music, listen, with a cup in his hand, he was like,
Yo, I'm not gonna. I'm looking.
who is this guy?
Yeah, I'm looking around and I'm saying, am I the only one that just didn't know this?
Right.
Because they started screaming. The women started screaming. I'm like, you guys are screaming for the host more than you're screaming for the talent who was.
Right. When the host outshines the talent.
I was like, okay.
Sounds about right.
I said, all right. So I know what we're gonna do moving forward.
Yeah.
I was like, listen. Anytime you're ready, it's your stage now.
Yeah.
I told him, I said, it's your stage.
show. It's your show.
Yo, but I really
you know,
appreciate it, man. We gotta go, but Silky, all jokes aside, man, you came into my life at a time where I was going through some shit, bro. Like I was, whew, dude, I was depressed. I had lost my apartment. The job wasn't going right. You know what I'm saying? They were about to file for bankruptcy. I was about to lose my job. Yo, my dude, you said, you come in, do it. Like, yo, dude, those years on that stage doing that show was some of the best years of my life, man. There's more better years to come, but
Right.
looking back at that, it was dope.
No, I
So,
appreciate it, man.
yo, listen, man. Make sure you check out Silky Don. Make sure you check out the Hangover Takeover coming on at 9:30. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Right here on Zadaza. You know what I mean?
The Hangover Takeover fan page. Check it out.
Yeah, man. Go check them out, man. Subscribe to them. Don't just go and watch the show. Go to Hangover Takeover. Go to OTV Live,
Do it.
and like the page, and then hit the follow button.
We like when they do that.
Yes, please do that. If you haven't already done it, please. Next week, ladies and gentlemen, we have R&B artist PJ Johnson will be in the building.
Dope. That's going to be fun.
Talking about his album Insignificant
Awesome.
Other. Yeah, bro.
Okay.
Yeah, man. So it's going to be a good time. It's going to be a good time. So, ladies and gentlemen, we didn't get to the top, the 5 independent questions, but we'll have Silky Don back on. You know what I'm saying? Mr. Silky will be back on some other time. But as always, ladies and gentlemen, keep it indie, baby. Peace.
Love is love.